Neptune revealed, the greatest mystery school never told you. Did you know that Neptune, the farthest planet in our solar system, hides secrets so incredible they could change everything you think you know? From storms faster than the speed of sound to a rain of diamonds literally falling inside it. Get ready to discover it all here on Mind-Blown Space. Welcome, explorers of the cosmos. The unexpected discovery of Neptune. Imagine discovering a planet no one had ever seen before, without using a telescope, only with mathematical calculations. That was the real story of Neptune, the farthest planet in our solar system, a blue giant wrapped in mystery. In the 19th century, astronomers observed Uranus's orbit and noticed something strange. It did not follow the rules physics dictated. It was as if an invisible force pushed or pulled it, breaking the predictions. No one understood what was happening until Urbain Le Verrier, a French mathematician, decided to do what few dared, calculate the exact position of an unknown planet causing that disorder. Le Verrier predicted a point in space where this new planet should be, and surprisingly, Johann Galle, a German astronomer, pointed his telescope right there, and bam! He found Neptune less than 1 degree from the calculated spot. It was not luck or magic, it was pure mathematics. That is how the only planet in history was discovered without seeing it first, only with numbers and formulas. As if the universe played a joke on the human eye, forcing us to trust logic to reveal its secrets. But that was just the beginning. A few days later, scientists found Neptune's largest moon, called Triton. This satellite is not any ordinary moon. It is bigger than Pluto, has a burnt orange color, and to make things even stranger, it orbits in the opposite direction to Neptune's rotation. Something only a few bodies in the solar system do. This makes us think that Triton was not born with Neptune, but was captured by its gravitational force, like a cosmic intruder. However, because Neptune is so far away, for more than a century it was difficult to know it well. From Earth, it only appeared as a pale blue dot. It was not until 1989, when the Voyager 2 probe arrived, that we got the first detailed images. Then we discovered that Neptune not only has rings, like Saturn, but also has a stormy atmosphere, mysterious moons, and a dynamic world we never imagined. It was a radical change in our vision of this distant and cold planet. Neptune went from being an intangible mystery to a fascinating and active giant. The story of its discovery reminds us that the universe does not always show itself easily, and that sometimes mathematics is the best way to find what the eyes cannot see. And this is only the first piece of the Neptune puzzle, the fierce weather and storms that defy the cold. Neptune, despite being at an absurd distance from the Sun, is the planet with the fastest winds in the entire solar system. While on Earth, a hurricane reaches speeds of up to 200 kilometers per hour. On Neptune, the winds blow at almost 2,200 kilometers per hour. Yes, you read that right. 2,200. That is faster than a supersonic plane. It is not a simple sea breeze. It is a true gale capable of sweeping away anything if there were anything to sweep away in that extreme cold. And here comes the irony. With average temperatures hovering around 200 degrees below zero, you would expect an icy and calm planet, more like a cosmic freezer than a place where such violent storms blow. But no, Neptune defies expectations with a dynamic atmosphere where gigantic cyclones form that could swallow the entire Earth. In 1989, the Voyager 2 probe recorded the famous Great Dark Spot, a gigantic storm similar to Jupiter's Great Red Spot, but it mysteriously disappeared only a decade later. Where did those storms go? No one knows for sure, but that only adds more mystery to this elusive planet. Another curious thing is that most of the winds on Neptune blow in the opposite direction to the planet's rotation, which is very rare by planetary standards. The atmosphere is divided into bands of different colors and temperatures, and these bands also move at speeds that would leave any Earth pilot speechless. Storms form and vanish in unpredictable cycles, as if Neptune had its own atmospheric mood. Why so much movement on such a distant and cold planet? The probable explanation lies buried much deeper, inside Neptune. This planet radiates more heat into space than it receives from the Sun, unlike its distant cousin, Uranus, which is the coldest of all. That internal energy activates its atmosphere, generating a climatic chaos that surprises even the most experienced scientists. So while we complain about the wind on a cloudy day, out there, 4,500,000,000 kilometers away, Neptune laughs with its supersonic storms and extreme weather. A blue giant that, despite its distance and cold, does not stay still for a single second. The mystery of the interior and the diamond rain. When we think of Neptune, the first thing that comes to mind is that deep blue color, that stormy atmosphere, and those colossal winds. But what lies beneath that gaseous surface? Here is where things get truly mind-blowing. Unlike other planets, Neptune has an internal structure that defies all common logic. It is believed that its core is surrounded by a liquid mantle made up of frozen water, ammonia, and methane, but under such extreme pressure that methane can break down and form diamonds. Yes, diamonds. Not those bright and precious gems that adorn jewelry, but enormous icebergs of diamond floating in a liquid carbon ocean. Imagine a constant rain of diamonds falling into an infernal sea under a pressure millions of times greater than what we experience on Earth. This phenomenon is not just a crazy theory. It is beginning to be replicated in laboratories that recreate the extreme conditions inside Neptune. If this is true, then the blue planet is not just a gaseous giant, but a natural jewelry factory, although inaccessible and totally inhospitable for us. Additionally, Neptune generates a surprising amount of internal heat. Even though it is very far from the sun, it radiates more energy than it receives, heat that keeps its storms active and generates movements in its atmosphere. This internal energy probably comes from the planet's gradual contraction and the decay of radioactive elements in its core. Its magnetic field is another mystery. It is tilted almost 50 degrees relative to its rotational axis, something strange and unique in the solar system, similar to Uranus but without a clear explanation. This tilt causes Neptune's northern and southern auroras to be different from those of other planets, less intense and more difficult to detect. Finally, the combination of that internal heat, brutal pressure, and chemical composition makes Neptune a cosmic laboratory for studying states of matter that on Earth we can only imagine. A blue giant that, beneath its turbulent atmosphere, hides a heart of diamonds and secrets that we are just beginning to understand. Not bad for the planet that no one can see with the naked eye, don't you think? Supersonic storms and winds, chaos on the coldest planet. If you thought Neptune was just a huge, cold blue dot lost in space, get ready to discover it is a true giant hurricane with an atmospheric fury that would make any Earth storm feel like a summer breeze. On Neptune, the fastest winds in the solar system are recorded, reaching incredible speeds of up to 2,160 kilometers per hour, almost double the speed of sound on Earth. These winds sweep through the planet's atmosphere in retrograde, meaning opposite to its rotation. Imagine a tornado so large it could swallow an entire continent with a force capable of destroying everything in its path, but multiplied thousands of times. In 1989, the Voyager 2 probe observed a giant storm on Neptune called the Great Dark Spot, comparable in size to the entire Earth. However, unlike Jupiter's Great Red Spot, these storms on Neptune seem to appear and disappear within years, never permanent. In fact, when the Hubble telescope tried to find the Great Dark Spot in 1999, it had already vanished, as if the planet's nature was too unpredictable even for us. But why this atmospheric madness on such a distant and cold planet? The answer seems related to the internal heat we mentioned before. Although Neptune is billions of kilometers from the sun, its interior generates enough energy to fuel these titanic storms. This energy causes methane and other gases to flow and create a dynamic and violent atmospheric system, with bands of clouds forming whirlpools and gigantic waves. Additionally, the atmospheric pressure and chemical composition make these storms unique, with bright clouds of frozen methane crystals rising to great heights. It is not just wind and gas, but a climatic ballet that defies understanding, with a terrifying beauty. Neptune is not the calm, cold planet we imagine. It is cosmic chaos disguised as blue, a reminder that even in the farthest corners of the solar system, fury can reign with strength. If you are fascinated by the secrets of the universe and the mysteries hidden by the planets, you cannot miss our video. Our galaxy is being pushed by a mysterious force. Discover how unknown forces shape the cosmos and challenge everything we thought we knew. Take a look and keep exploring with us. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, activate the notification bell to never miss a video, and leave your comment about which space mystery you would like us to explore next. See you on the next journey through the cosmos.